This video is about raw data tables, so you will take notes and learn a lot about raw data tables. So what exactly will I learn? I'm going to learn the definition of raw data. I'm going to learn how to set up a raw data table. I'm going to look at an example of a raw data table, and then I'll get a reminder about raw data tables. So you may need to pause this video and write notes. That's fine. Pause the video. Come back when you're ready. So what is raw data? Raw data is data that is collected during a lab. So if you write something down during a lab because you took a measurement, that's raw data. We call it raw data because we haven't done anything to it yet. We haven't done any math to make the data make more sense. It's just raw. Kind of like raw vegetables. They haven't been cooked and turned into anything yet. Raw data tables must be set up before you do a lab. They're the last thing that you need to do before you can start collecting data. Raw data tables are set up a certain way. They have a template. So, first thing that you'll do is set up kind of a lopsided t-chart. You'll put the independent variable here. I know that looks strange, but trust me, it will make more sense once you find out that the dependent variable goes over here. We're going to put something here, so again, don't worry. Below the independent variable, we'll put the control and change 1. If you have more than one change, you just add it below the independent variable here. To the right of the independent variable, we'll put the trials. If you have more than 3 trials, like if you're going to do an experiment 4 times or 7 times or 100 times, you just add more trials to this side. The last thing you need for your template is to tell where to put the title. This up here, this is the title. And the title for data tables is really easy. It's always whatever your independent variable is and its unit versus the dependent variable and its unit. So once you have this in your notes, you'll be able to make a raw data table by hand really easily. Everything is always going to go in these same places. You just have to look at your lab report. What was my independent variable? What was my control? What was my change? And then what was my dependent variable? And how many trials did I plan to do? When you make the raw data table, there shouldn't be any new information going in it. It's stuff that you already decided and figured out earlier in your lab report. So let's look at an example. Bitmoji Ms. Jung is wondering if changing the circumference of, that's the distance around, a soccer ball will make it so that she can kick it farther. So we know that if we want to do a data table, we need to have a dependent variable, an independent variable, a control, and a change. So what's her independent variable? What's the unit? What's her dependent variable? And what's the unit? Well, her independent variable is the circumference of the soccer ball, and that unit is going to be centimeters. Soccer balls are not huge, so centimeters make sense as a unit. Her dependent variable is the distance that the ball is kicked. For that, we want a bigger unit than a centimeter, but not so big as a kilometer, so we'll pick meters. So again, we're going to set up kind of a lopsided t-chart, and we'll put our independent variable right here. That independent variable is the circumference of the soccer ball with its unit, cm for centimeters. Up here we'll put our dependent variable, that's the distance the ball is kicked, with m standing for meters. We're going to put our control and our change 1. I decided that the control is going to be the smaller number, 65, and the change 1 is going to be the larger number, 70. And then I'm going to kick the ball 3 times, so I have 3 trials. I have one more thing I need to do, and that's to put in my title, circumference of the soccer ball, which is the independent variable, versus the distance the ball is kicked in meters, which is my dependent variable. So one big reminder. You do not put your labels inside the data table. They only go with the dependent and the they only go with the independent and the dependent variable. They don't go down here in the body. Now I know that previously, maybe back in 6th grade, you were taught that you absolutely have to have the units inside the data table. But now you are in 7th grade and we are going to change that. The good news is it will never change again. In 9th grade, in 12th grade, in college, your data table will look like this. The units are only in the headings, they're only with the independent and the dependent variable, and then the inside of the table, the body of the table, it's just pure numbers, nothing else. So this is how it's going to be forever and ever, the end. So what did I learn? Well, I learned the definition of raw data. I learned how to set up a raw data table. I looked at some examples, or just one example, of a raw data table. And then I got that very important reminder about raw data tables that we do not put any labels, we do not put any units inside the body of the table, only in the headings. All right, well, that's everything you need to know about raw data tables at this point. So have a great day and thank you for watching.